Now, because they can't beat me, they got to do this smear campaign to convince public opinion that I'm bad for them.
So you said 2 elections. You were first elected in 2021?
No, 2013 was my first election for trustee. I was a trustee. I sat where they are.
Right.
That's why I know the law.
Council.
Yes.
Elected mayor 2021.
Yes.
Terms 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. Plans of running for re-election?
I'm running for both my seats. And I'm going to win them.
So, and when is the election for Thornton Township?
2025.
So those elections at the same time?
They are.
Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long.
I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't know.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we'd be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
We will shut shit down. Blessings, blessings. Who said I was coming on live tonight? Nobody but the YouTube streets. Shout out to Hannibal. Earlier I saw him make a post in regards to Tiffany Henyard reaction to what happened the night before last. So today what we're gonna do, and I still got access to her page, y'all. I was able to get the video, and what we're gonna do is a full reaction or response to some of the things she said. Okay, one of Miss Henyard's arguments is that no one highlights the good. She do. So on this platform, we want to give the good, the bad, and ugly. So we're going to play the whole thing, kind of interrupt it a little bit, you know, say I want to, and keep it moving, and just highlight what she was saying. But one of the things that she does have a major problem with is the investigation that allegedly involves, or not allegedly, that involves Miss Lori Lightfoot. So what we're going to do is do a flashback into Lori Lightfoot's mayor history. Now, you know, I was trying to find some good stuff, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm just going to show you what I found. And I want to kind of give you some, you know, insight on why I feel a little skeptical about what's going on involving Miss Lightfoot. Not because Miss Henyard don't need to be investigated, but it's like the pot calling the kettle black. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. You know, we want to keep it real here. All right. So also, I want to highlight this. Earlier in one of my broadcasts, I mentioned something about Miss Lightfoot that may not be totally provable. Allegedly her, you know, distributing money to the wrong people. I was looking for information for that, and I cannot find that. So I will retract that, because I don't want to put allegations out here, knowing that this is really big. This situation is big. It involves the FBI, people calling defamation, people putting things on people. I just want to be real with that. But what I will say, it's in my community page. I've been going through my archives, because I used to make little presentations, but they're not really presentations. They're like documentaries. A couple of years ago, and I did make 2 videos in regards to what was going on in Chicago. Now, the video that I did find was the crime and corruption in Chicago. So I'm not going to upload that on YouTube, because I don't want to get a strike again. Those are one of the videos that they did take down, but I can upload it on Rumble. So YouTube, tonight we're going to upload that first part of Chicago crime, the crime involving not just the streets, the alleged government, and how it's a history of it, okay? And it's going to put a perspective together for you, or help you build some resources into what has been happening in Chicago. So we're going to do that later on. You're going to see that in the community page when I upload it to Rumble. Shout out to Rumble, y'all. I already see y'all there. Rumble, like, I'm getting into this. I ain't know nothing about no daggone Henyard, but we here for it. Shout out to Rumble. I see the numbers going up. I see y'all paying attention to this. Okay. So I did wanted to say that. Did I retract that? Did I say the right thing? I wanted to make that announcement. Now let's move. Excuse me. Let's move forward. Um, Please hit the like button. Oops, stop it. That's supposed to be the outro. Please hit the like button. I appreciate you guys being here with Grace Levi. We're going to speak from a well-rounded perspective. So, what the first thing we're going to do is bring up the Henyard video. Okay, we're going to bring up the Henyard video. This is a Facebook post that she made in the last 24 hours about her dismay about what happened last night, how it's a political setup, and how people are doing it right on time for the election, and all of the good things that she have done. So here we're going to not only showcase the bad, let's see what Henyard actually says she does. And we do have people who live in Dalton that tune into this page. So what I ask you guys to do is leave your comments down and let me know, do you see these infrastructure changes? These are the things that she says she has done, infrastructure changes, beautifying it, putting money into things that wasn't being put into. So can you verify that? I'm kind of pulling the lid off the can, but these are some of the things that she was saying. So I at least want to give her the benefit of the doubt of that, because that's her main argument. But there are some underlying issues that I want to remind Miss Henyard why the block is hot and why people don't trust you. Also, one more thing before we start, I wanted to highlight another issue in Chicago is the gangs. The second video that I'm going to hunt for it tonight, is a video that I put together that was restricted on YouTube about the gangs in Chicago and their alleged connection to the Masons, satanic worshiping, and allegedly the government. Okay, I have a documentary that I put together. There were clips of gang members that talked about initiation taking places in certain places that they wouldn't think that they would have access to under allegedly Freemasonry. So when I find that video, because I'm going to be looking tonight, I'm doing some hunting. That is part 2 to the Chicago videos that I had made a couple of years ago. So I just wanted to throw that out there because somebody was throwing something out there about Mr. Kamal Woods, and I'm just saying, and I ain't saying nothing. But when people throw up signs that remind me of Newark, because I grew up around gang members, watching them throw up things. It was Crips on one side, Bloods on the other side. We just gonna share some background around here. This is what we do. So let's just play that. I just wanted to throw that out there. Once I find that video, I'm gonna throw that out there. Let's get started. Thank you for being with me tonight.
This is your super mayor.
Oh my goodness.
Henyard, the people's mayor. Come on in. Come on in. Hey guys. Hey, come on in.
And let me see if I speed it up. How fast you're
update. I
talking.
want to thank everybody because there's a lot going on in community, and I just want y'all to know I'm standing strong. This too shall pass, but I want to thank you for your love, your support, your text messages, your emails, everything that you send me just to tell me you got this. So not last night. Last night we had a board meeting, and it my heart that is so much chaos going on that people want to create division amongst us, but not give facts and truth to what's going on in our community. You guys know that I've always been the voice of the people, and I've always been trying to uplift my community and tell my community what they mean to me, because sometimes people don't know their worth. So we have done so much within my term, and I'm only 3.5 years in, and I think we have created so much in our village. And it saddens my heart because you have board members that's using it for political gain, playing these games, and they're using the people as, I don't even know what to call it.
Now, I do want to stop there because I want to remind Henyard and the people of Dalton that this has been going on for about her whole term. about 6 months into her term. So I really don't think that this is a political thing. Just to clarify, I think she is using this video to, try to keep people focused on what's coming up now. But we want to remember that this is not new. Okay, Miss Henyard? I just wanted to fix that statement for you, boo.
And I just need y'all to pay attention because I have no more words as it relates to what they're doing. You got to look and pay attention with your own 2 eyes of what's going on in the village of Dalton. And as I always say, me today, you tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I have been doing a great job at the township and at the village. When people try to bring people in to do fake investigations, because it's fake news, because they don't tell you both sides, they tell you one-sided narratives, and don't allow everybody should get investigated. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. It shouldn't be geared towards one individual.
Let's stop right there, guys. Snitches get stitches. This is what I hear. I hear Tiffany Henyard saying, hey, I'm not the only one corrupt that did something. There's some subliminal messages in this. I'm just telling you, I'll be reading in between the lines. Maybe I'll read a little bit deeper. We're going to go into some stuff. This right here seems to me, to her co-Ds, allegedly, and the people around her, that I'm not going to be the only one investigated. So remember that we all should be investigated. Don't that sound like it when you used to be getting in trouble with people, and then before you about to get in trouble, everybody, look, just remember, we all gonna go down. So everybody shut their mouth. Sounds about familiar?
It was illegal. You cannot appoint, again, for those that don't understand politics, because that's what it is. The way politics work is every mayor in any city, in any state, you appoint, depending on your laws. But over here, we appoint the attorneys, the village administrator, village manager. We appoint the fire chief, the police chief. We appoint everybody. That is our power, guys. And people don't understand that. So then you get 4 individuals who really is puppets to the puppet master, which is the lawyer, come in and try to overtake government. That's not how it works.
And it's so crazy. She now mentioning that it's another lawyer here that's playing the puppet master. And from my knowledge, all I've been hearing is Delgado. And most of the board meetings that we have been seeing over at least the 8 months that I have kind of went back to, Delgado was on the side of her, directing the things that she say, and solidifying her moves against the trustees. So it's just weird that now the narrative is being flipped on this other lawyer who has contentious relationships with her, allegedly. And I don't even understand how that lawyer is still trying to represent. I think possibly that lawyer is probably still trying to deduct the money that is owed to him, because it seems like allegedly Delgado has money that's owed to him. Right? Do y'all remember? So I just want to kind of like get some clarification on this, Tiffany, because it's just not making sense. Because from what I'm hearing is that it took a while for the trustees to even get a non-biased lawyer for them to ask questions. So now you're saying that lawyer is trying to run Dalton. When what I saw, it looked like Delgado. Now you guys correct me if I'm wrong.
As I always say, when it's a woman in control, a woman running things, you guys have a problem with that. And it's sad because we know what we're doing and we want change. We want things to go right in our community. But sometimes there's been so much bad and so much corruption in our communities that when we try to implement the change, it's like, y'all want to know why. And y'all know why. Y'all got clubs in our community that have been shut down, clubs for shooting.
No, we don't want to know why. I think they want to know how. They don't want to know why. They want to know how. And I think if she's making that statement towards Pablo's Cafe, we have read in fully that case that is pending right now. And the information or the evidence that she was able to bring forth in court was very lax thereof. And that was to say that they had a lot of reports in the vicinity of the area of where the cafe or Pablo's Cafe, if that's what she's talking about, that had incidents. And then the incidents that we read 7 of them, they were ridiculously ridiculous. And they really didn't totally have something to do with Pablo's Cafe. So I don't know if she's hinting to that, but what that goes to say, also what lacked in that case was that they did not have police reports attached or police numbers attached to these actual allegations that all of these cops came and made testimonies on against Pablo that got his place restricted for about 3 to 4 months. Do you guys remember that? I just want to highlight that because this is Tiffany half statements, okay? And I'm just want to fill in, what I'm thinking, just what from what we've been paying attention to. Okay. And as I always say, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm looking from the inside and outside, And what she's saying is that people from the outside can't possibly see what's going on because they're not there. But what it is, Tiffany, is that when people are on the outside and they're looking into a house and the house is on fire and it's chaotic, the person outside will be able to alarm you faster than the people who are in their sleep. So that's why you have people from outside the community coming in to look in, to make reports, to talk about it, and the FBI coming in to investigate you.
And then they get their due process. And then you got people that sit here and say they want the club back open. Then the club get back open. Then they had another shooting at the club. Another shooting. But the news don't play that.
Where's that?
So they tell you one side, but don't tell you what's going on. And that's why I say do y'all research. Y'all should always do your research, full paperwork, so you will know what's going on. Because right now, you see everything's at stake. Everything. You watching the president race, you watching Congress, you watching the Senate, you watching all these things take place. But now, your voices must be heard, Reverend. You community, if you're watching this and you see me going through this, I want you to keep me in your prayers. Keep me uplifted. Because at the end of the day, only God can tell you what to do. Only God got the final say so. He are leading us in this fight against all these corrupt people. Because that's who I'm fighting, guys. I'm fighting devils. I'm fighting.
No. I don't think so. And I'm going to just shut up right there. I had a thought, y'all. Y'all know how I am. I probably dropped some curse bombs, but I'm definitely a daughter of Israel. And I will promise you, I will feel convicted in my heart to knowingly go against someone who I believe is doing a good job for a whole town and community. I take that to heart because there's a good amount of us on YouTube that's, making our way around town. And I know she sees this and she thinks that she can throw low blows and call people the devil when I've been saying that she been practicing voodoo. Okay. But no, guess what? We're not serving the same God. I don't think so. So I just have to add that because I take that as a blow, especially a spiritual blow, because that's what she do. She's always throwing God in there somewhere, and it makes like when someone like that, if she's found guilty of all that and she just kept saying, God got my back and I'm the chosen one, that's going to make people really have like a second thought, like God chose that. Like, she got this far. Why would he do that? I don't like that. So please stop. While you have controversy, just fall back, pray to God. You know what I'm saying? And then let him fix all your stuff. But the way that you representing right now is not official. Okay? As a daughter of Israel. I just have to say that. I felt some way.
People that had it their way for so long and thought that I was going to do the same thing. But I said no. And now this is why you see me getting attacked the way you see me getting attacked. I don't know nobody that's literally on the news every single day for clicks. And I told the news the other day, y'all owe me a check. You know y'all owe me a check? Because you guys are using my face for likes and views. Like, stop it. It's clickbait. But you don't tell the truth. They don't tell you about all these programs we got going on. Or they tell you about all this stuff that we got going on up here at the township. We got a ton of things going on right now. Right now we got a food service. Hey, we have a food service thing going on right now, and people tend not to even want to tell y'all that. So if you're hungry, every Wednesday you could come by and get food and get different stuff. And then also you got our GA department. Our GA department, if you need help with your light, your gas, your water bills, things of that nature, you guys can come up here and get help for free. All these are free services, but no one's advertising to you. But they advertise all of the negativity, all the mess. Why is that? And why they got to use our community for a mockery? That's what's being shouted. Black people going back and forth. Why? Wake up, guys. I just want you to see it for what it is, but I'm letting y'all know I'm still standing strong. I'm still 10 toes down with you. And I just want you to know that this too shall pass. And when it do pass, you'll see what's next. But I wanted to lay some facts to that fiction story, that little fake story that's out there about how it works. Myself, the mayor of Dawson, is the only one that can appoint for any of the positions I just said before you. But people not telling you that. They sitting here did a mockery about Lightfoot Inc.
Let's just start right here before she go in on Lightfoot. Now, what I just want to double back. First and foremost, Henyard, Trump is on the news every day as well, okay, for controversy and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, your sister, Fannie Willis. Now, some of the services that she talked about, I'm going to say they're commendable, but they're typical service that you find in urban neighborhoods, i.e., example, food services, food pantries that's open weekly. You can find a food pantry that's open weekly in most communities, and some of them are services by churches. So I appreciate that, Tiffany Henyard, but some of the things that you use is really like buffers. Okay. Food pantries should be typical, especially in urban communities. This is what I see all the time. The next thing she talked about is water, gas, and water, gas bill help. That is amazing. Now, what I have found that was remarkably similar to those services that help you with your gas services. We have that in Newark and other urban communities as well. That's called welfare. Okay, is welfare or is temporary assistance. You go there, you show them that you could pay your bills, and you say, I'm in trouble, and then you kind of show them. It's in most urban communities. So I will hope that Dalton has that. You are bragging and boasting about typical services. So I know you're going to go on and start talking about the pool. We're going to talk about that. Lastly, as what she's getting to right now, it is her job to appoint people. I don't think you would appoint an investigator to investigate yourself. Now, that just doesn't make sense, even if it was your job. So whose job would it be? It would be the trustees, and that's why they're doing it. Okay? Right.
Come on. Really? Stop it. You know the rules. You especially, because you was a mayor. You was. Past tense was. Brain, come get your girl. Come on, stop playing. Y'all playing that. Y'all using everything for just clickbait. Like, it's not even worth that, guys. It's not. I just wanted to showcase that to you today and let you know what was going on and tell you guys that, hey, I'm still standing strong. I'm still in a fight. But at the end of the day, my people know what we do in our community. You've seen me come, cut trees down, do streets, sidewalks, alleys, things that ain't never been done in my city, ever. If you talk to people that really can tell you what's up about Dalton, they gonna tell you, to be the only mayor that's been putting on for the city. The only one.
Shots fired. Whoever was the last mayor, Rogers, that's shots fired. That's probably why he's talking out against her right now, because she's basically saying that the city of Dalton was in demise before she came. Nothing was nice. Everything was destroyed, and she did it. And that's what she's telling y'all. Okay, so I know that they were in a bind definitely before she started, but she was part of Dalton as well. She was part of that and some of the decisions that was made. As we continue to go back down the Yellow Brick Road, because those Dalton meetings go all the way back to when she's a trustee, we can go and investigate how she behaved as a trustee. All right.
And I can put my stats up against anybody. But yet, they got to paint me this bad picture because they can't beat me. Because if y'all could have beat me, right? Election time coming up. That's why you see all this craziness. Y'all would have did it the right way. But y'all got to do a smear campaign to try to beat me. And then on another thing.
You can't
y'all
beat me.
An individual that ain't never going to get paid because it's illegal. I told y'all that already. They ain't never going to get paid $400. This lady put in her paperwork. $400 an hour. An hour, guys. What is that? So, for those that don't understand, and y'all math ain't mathing, $400 an hour is $100 every 15 minutes. To do what? Come on, it's a money grab. And all I can do is open your eyes up and make y'all see what's going on. Because some people don't know. And that ain't even just for her. That's her salary. And then what about the team that she got to bring in? What about travel expenses? All that's in the paperwork. But they didn't tell y'all that, didn't they? They just made this whole little scene and made it showcase mess in our village. And it's sad because the people that sit on the board with me are creating all the chaos. And I never seen somebody that governs a community want that community to be in so much turmoil. Where you got people flying in, people coming from all over, YouTubers or they want to be Instagrammers or whatever y'all call nowadays. That's not cool. But this is what's going on in my community. And I wanted to talk to y'all today to let y'all know that I'm not standing for it. So you'll see me all the time.
All right.
Telling people that I am not going anywhere and I'm not going to stand for the mess. Because at the end of the day, that's why I'm talking, because I'm trying to lay it to rest. There's so much going on, and y'all don't even got proper information to make decisions. And when y'all see me, ask me. I'll tell y'all what's up.
We, the people on the outside and the trustees, doesn't have the proper information to make the decisions because you are withholding information. Okay, guys, I know when you see this, you may fall for some of the propaganda, but that is not the reason why there is so much speculation on what's going on in Dalton. It's because the people in Dalton don't know what's going on. That is so bad that they're being sued by a news broadcast company for FOAs that wasn't answered. You got the feds there. Yeah, you got a whole bunch of alleged YouTubers and the fake investigators. Where did this come from, Tiffany? No other town right now in the United States or city is going through this. I know Atlanta's going through something different because we have this controversial prosecutor, DA, you know what I'm saying? But this right here, this is one of a kind, baby. This is one of a kind.
Because at the end of the day, y'all voted for Lightfoot, right? To come in here at $400 an hour. That's $100 for every 15 minutes. But yet y'all won't vote to open the swimming pool for the kids. That makes sense. I asked about this last night. They took it off the warrant list. So those that live in Dalton, y'all want to swim, and I think that we should open the pool. Because that's what I'm advocating for, to teach our kids, especially the black and brown kids, how to swim. So that's the number one thing they all say. We don't know how to swim.
No, Tiffany. That is not right. The number one thing they say about black people is put it in the book and you can hide it from them. That's what I heard, that we don't want to read. I know I love y'all, but you know what Grace Levi said. I know swimming ain't our best thing, but baby, that's not what we need. Let's prioritize. I do like the fact that, we may need to swim because it's hot. But the way that you are presenting the pool, I think, is an issue. Your intent to rent it out is an issue. You may not have a well drawn out plan. That's an issue. And you're not communicating with the board correctly. You're not showing them what insurance you have, because obviously that was a question, because Ms. Belcher asked that Pacific. I got insurance for all of Dalton. What the hell are you talking about, ma'am? We're not talking about all of Dalton. And what type of insurance do you have for all of Dalton? That's not how insurance works. It's sectors of insurance. Please. Okay. So we do like the fact that you want a pool. That's nice. But I don't think that's the first thing that black people think about. Okay? Correction.
But we have a pool that we pay for regardless, but ain't open. Because people playing politics.
Regardless.
These are the things I'm fighting up against. Greenwood Farms, right? Y'all see it? We got an outdoor roller rink. These are things that should be advertised to y'all, tell y'all what's going on, but they not. They won't tell you anything like that. And then you can ice skate in the winter. But these, again, are the things, y'all both. Somebody put Beetlejuice. Y'all funny.
Yo, when I heard that, let's play that again. Do you know somebody called her Beetlejuice? I promise you, that had me dying.
I didn't even read that.
Wait.
Y'all both. Somebody put Beetlejuice. Y'all funny. I didn't even read that.
I'm so done.
Okay. These are the things that I'm advocating.
At least she got a sense of humor, baby, because she do look like Beetlejuice, her little shrunken ass head.
And I want everybody to come out, support. I'm going to do a conversation with the mayor, and you can actually get the truth for yourself. Also, I've been trying to educate and teach people about taxes. A lot of people don't understand tax levy. all this smoke
Christ.
that's going on. Did y'all know that my board of trustees in the village of Dalton, the four, that they raise y'all property taxes? Y'all didn't know that, huh? Did the news tell you that? Nope. But this are the things that's going on that they don't tell you. That's at your doorstep. And then when you get your tax bill, they get to saying, I ain't raised your taxes. Yeah, they did. We have an event on the.
Let me stop right there. Now, let me give you a suggestion, Miss Missy. First, you can do is release all of the documents that the trustees are asking for as far as financials and whatever the tax levies is. And what I do suggest is not that you educate the people because you give them half-ass information. You know, I'm always give some suggestions here with my geeky ass. Okay, use that beautiful website you have a tax specialist, the one that, you know, specializes in government liens and how it works and how it affects the community. That person do a 5-10 minute video, put it on a website. At the bottom of that video, have a link of all of the years that shows what has happened. Has it increased? Why it increased? Okay, I'm just trying to show you how to fight. You don't even know how to fight. All you do is go up there and talk. And guess what? These years coming up from now on, us the people, and I'm going to say us, all of y'all, we want proof. We want to look. We want to have access. There's no more, oh, there's numbers. Oh, the numbers say that. We don't want to hear the numbers. This is that. We want to look ourselves, be able to educate ourselves on how things are supposed to look, and then move accordingly. So that's my suggestion to you, Miss Tiffany. Please don't make a little shorthanded video again. Just put it up there for the people like the FDA do, you know, how OSHA do on their website. If you want to be so, you know, professional, you know, you want to take it up a notch, do that. And you can educate a lot of people and then it'll save you some time. Do anybody agree with that? Y'all know I'm going to give y'all some suggestions. I ain't going to just kick this broad in the head, but it got to make sense. And then some of you guys that live in Dalton and in your town, if y'all having these issues, can make some of these suggestions. Y'all know I'll be at them damn meetings at my job saying shit and they be like, be all quiet when I say it. Then 5 minutes later, somebody be like, well, the boss come in. Well, I have a suggestion. I'll be like, wait, didn't that sound like what the hell I just said? Fuck it. Go ahead, y'all. Just use it. Just use it, okay?
15th
Yeah.
for all fathers. It will be open, the roller rink. So anybody want to come and skate, bring your skate. We got a JB event coming up as well. And you can do that as well. I'm going to bring.
Now, okay. This is when she's going to have a guest speaker. Now, this KP. Is this the same KP that we talked about before YouTube? Yesterday, we talked about somebody who was inciting the old man in the crowd. I tried my best. We're going to pull this video up again. On the Jedediah Live, I have the exact moment when the old man got enticed. Y'all said that it was Keith Price, didn't y'all? Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I looked at the video. And all I was able to see was a little head in the back of that place where y'all didn't want people to be at in Dalton. We're going to look at that after Mr. KP speaks up for Henyard. I'm going to highlight something very important because I'm from the hood. And I read into things a little different as well. And I don't like one thing that he said made my ears spark up. And I'm going to let y'all listen.
So I'm gonna bring KP in. KP is a influencer as well, alderman in Harvey, and he wants to tell y'all a couple things so you can hear from somebody else other than me.
He's so he's an influencer to the men in Harvey. What do KP do, y'all? Could somebody tell me in the comments so I can read it so we can put some stuff together here?
What's going on, everybody? Just want to take a minute to talk to the residents of Dalton that know Tiffany's work. Tiffany has been busting her butt for you guys. I need y'all to pay attention. Anyone that knows me knows that I encourage everyone to research for themselves, always have. When we talk about Lightfoot, we talk about special meetings where they appointed Lightfoot. Miss Lightfoot was appointed at a special meeting anybody know the ILCS codes, know that at a special meeting, you cannot change an agenda. You can't change an agenda for anything. They changed the agenda for Ms. Lightfoot. They amended the agenda, and they changed the title of which they were bringing her in as. That is illegal. That makes that meeting illegal. That makes that appointment illegal. Plus, the mayor has the right to appoint. But I want y'all to pay attention to the things that those 4 trustees are stopping. They wouldn't buy the skates for the roller rink. They stopped paying concrete. The contractors for the concrete. You need those for various reasons, especially when you have water main breaks. So you got the lawn care not getting paid. Y'all just, the people that are paying attention, look at the things that your trustees are stopping. It's very important to look at what they're stopping. I encourage all you all in Dalton to stay strong. This woman, Tiffany, has had her first term as mayor, and it's only been 3.5 years.
Only 3.5 years. The end of her term, not the beginning, sir.
She's got the streets done. You're getting sidewalk, street cleaners. Alleys done. I mean, she's doing a great job. This is a political attack. I believe this is strictly because she won't bow down to the status quo. So you all keep y'all head up, pay attention, and number one, always research for yourselves. I stand with her because I like the work she's doing. I love the work she's doing. I see how the children react to her, want to come up and take pictures. I view all this for myself. I bear witness to it. So you all keep y'all heads up. Let's stay focused. Dalton residents, stay focused. Thornton Township residents, check the numbers. Check the fact that Thornton Township is now out of a deficit. Check the spending. Check the amount of comp time that was paid off.
Wait.
$1.4 million was paid out in comp time. These are the numbers that I'm pulling up personally. So you all bonuses, you wouldn't believe the bonuses that were given out.
Okay, let's stop because he's about to get in deep before I can make my commentary because he's about to say something that sparked my ears. Now he's trying to call out bonuses that was given out. Now that's when you know you're trying to throw people under the bus other than yourself. I just want to highlight that. But now he highlight a number of things that the trustees was trying to stop in the village of Dalton. You know, I made one reasoning for it possible because they don't know the amount of spending. And also I think that Tiffany Henyard don't think out her plans totally. So to have a skating ring, that means you need to have employees, you need to have insurance, you need to have security, you need to have a DJ, you need to pay for electricity, just a whole lot. It's a whole lot of bills that come with that. So if there are activities that they can have with the kids, you're going to make sure that they're at least cost effective. So I'm thinking in those aspects. When we talk about the workers and we talk about the people who are cutting grass, we're talking about the people who are laying down concrete, the construction workers, they are supposed to get paid. Now, the question is, and this is something that you can ask your trustees, and maybe I'm getting it wrong, but from my understanding is the reason why these companies are not getting paid again, Henyard, is because the contracts are not visible. These, they seem to be double billing. So if the contract is not visible and they're able to double bill, there's no cross-referencing as far as the trustees legitimately signing off on what they know they sign off with. So I know what she says, it sounds bad because they were like, damn, the trustees, why y'all not doing that? But I have to think logically. I'm not going to make excuses for the trustee because you know I call them out. But if there is an underlying political agenda, what is it? What is it that they're going specifically against Henyard? They didn't do that with the last mayor, and he wasn't the bestest. No disrespect, you know. She said you left the place in shambles. streets broken up, all types of stuff, and they were in a deficit, allegedly, and we can't tell what they were in. I know Thornton was in a deficit, but we can't even tell what Dalton is in. So for him to say, check the numbers, is confusing. And then you're interchanging Dalton's board meeting yesterday with what's happening in Thornton. So that's another trickery that I want you guys to pay attention to, because that's two separate issues. So last night was specifically about Ms. Lori Lightfoot, also about them vetoing her veto, also about them doing the El Stapo for some of the things that she can sign off. And as I missed, she also vetoed House being in representation as mayor. So that's something that they have to address next month. That's why this is like a saga. But back to Mr. KP. We're going to try to determine, was it Mr. KP in the background inciting what was going on yesterday? Somebody tell me, or somebody mentioned that Mr. KP is not a worker of Dalton, that he is just her biggest fan. And as he said, an influencer. As she said, an influencer. Now, before I get into my feelings about Lori Lightfoot and some suggestions about that, we're going to listen to some ear-popping something. And you tell me if Grace Levi is hearing too much. I'll be listening too much. I'll be here like, what he said? Who said that? Let's listen.
I would like a couple of those bonuses. Would you all be mad if I got the same bonuses other people got? Probably, but you didn't utter a word when other people were getting them. So y'all have a great night.
Shots fired.
Do research for yourself. Keep your head up. And I'm going to tell you right here.
Listen.
Re-elect Tiffany if y'all don't want problems in Dalton or this township.
What the, let's play that back one more time. Who said that?
Yourself. Keep your head up. And I'm going to tell you right here. Re-elect Tiffany if y'all don't want problems in Dalton or this township. Because it's all on the rise. And it can be proven by numbers. So, hey.
What's on the rise? Can anybody tell me what's on the rise in Dalton? Is it what we've been talking about? Crime? So what's going to be problems, and who's going to cause problems if she gets out? And why would criminals or allegedly somebody want to cause problems if she get out? What type of problems will happen in Dalton? And is that a subliminal threat? You see, I'll be reading into shit. Don't you have no talk with me. You say something, I'm going to listen like, was that a threat? Was that a threat? So now that's why I want you guys to be aware of what goes on, because allegedly, I don't know, I'm going to shut up until somebody send me some proof. But there's some bad things going on in Dalton. Even from my intuition, from me talked about it before, when it comes to crime and it comes to things being swept under the rug. It don't just happen in Dalton. It happened in a lot of urban communities and rural too. Baby, you know those places by the border? They got the most drug cartels up there, like in Arizona and stuff. Yo, it be going down. It be going down by the Texas border, Arizona, these places. So don't think that it's just our communities that these things are going on, where gang infiltration takes place and kind of intertwine into crooked government, crooked policing. I told y'all about some of the crooked policing that happened in Newark, where we had the hit. They was the what was Newark? I forgot what Newark task force was called, but they was the gang and drug task force in Newark, and they was crooked as hell. I mean, running down, guns out on people just for no reason, and this is what goes on when you have corruption. So let's play this one more again. Yeah, and maybe people need to pay attention to Mr. KP and who he is and what he do and what connections he have. And it's so funny, he has blue on. And I asked this question in somebody's chat: was there a Crip affiliation in Dalton? I just asked that. Now I'm just talking, we talking here. So somebody in Dalton tell me, because there was pictures being shown of Kamal throwing up things that I caught flashbacks like, dang, that looking like about a familiar, but he don't move like he's blood to me. I'm just being honest. Y'all may not understand this. I can't say that this man is part of it, but let me just give you an understanding of gangs and how it get intertwined into society. Not only the cops, it start on a lower level where cops actually run down on gang members, start making money off of them by robbing them and, putting that fear in them, doing it that way. Some of them actually allowed them to do things and then they just get paid. They either strong arm them or they don't. And then what that goes to say, internal affairs get called. Sometimes things get overlooked. And that's where you have internal affairs overlooking the things that their hit squads and things that go on, like in the Memphis case, where Tyree Nichols, you remember, I did a video on that a couple months ago, and that was the Goon Squad. Was that the Goon Squad? And they've been making reports on them. You know what I'm saying? I think the Goon Squad, which one was it? Was it the one that they ran into their house and did that to them black men, or was the other one? Regardless of what it was, these squads are out there and a lot of them are corrupt. There is a lot of blue, and I'm just going to keep it real. And y'all know, as I mentioned, my uncle was a federal agent. He was what he was, an ICE agent. And we always talked about this shit. And we didn't see eye to eye, but he knew our hearts was in the same place, is to expose corruption. But when he started to see what things was, his insight kind of changed just a little bit. He still was an officer, but he started to see shit a little different. So again, let's just go back to what this gentleman said. If someone could investigate and advocate, you know what I'm saying? Message. To maybe, find out a little bit about KP. And why would he have the audacity to say that things are going to get bad in Dalton? Let's listen one more time.
When other people were getting them. So y'all have a great night. Do research for yourself. Keep your head up. And I'm going to tell you right here, re-elect Tiffany if y'all don't want problems in Dalton or this township. Because it's all on the rise. And it can be proven by numbers. So, hey, have a great night.
Okay. Now, I'm going to stop right there. I gave you the floor enough. You have full 14 minutes plus my commentary. You smiled back there and cheese like what he said was righteous. What he said was not righteous. Tiffany, I am disappointed. Okay? Let me know, am I overseeing this? Okay? Or overthinking this. Now, let's just go back to this clip. I want to pull up this clip. Can y'all verify if this is actually KP that was the inciter of the drama yesterday? Okay. We're just going to pull it up real quick. Hold on. Can you, where is it?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. Don't give me a hard time. I was cleaning up some stuff, so I hope I didn't move that 5-hour video. There we go. I was cleaning up my computer and stuff. I got mad stuff on it, and I've been looking for some stuff I could upload on Rumble. Get that work out there while y'all paying attention. Now I can make some connections to some other stuff. Now let's put this on the screen. I went right to it. I done watched this thing so many damn times. Shout out to Jedediah and these angles that he got, because we got to see. Now, you saw the lady with the red hair. This is the same person I've been complaining about most of yesterday. How things was incited by her, him, that row of people. Now, I just want to see, is it KP in the back? That's all I want to see. And y'all, because one of y'all said it was Keith Price back there. Didn't y'all? Didn't you say that? This the old man. Look, this is when he runs over there.
Clear the room, guys. The people jar. Everybody out. That's fine. All right, guys. All right, money.
Now check it out. Stop. Now right here, you can see the old man running towards back here where it's behind the cabinets. This is like a bank. Whatever this is, this have Dalton's private information. They don't want these individuals back here. You see this person right here with a little bucket head, light skin, but I think it looked like glasses. So I don't know if it's KP because it looked like glasses. Now let's play this. Ooh, maybe I could play it in slow motion. Slow motion for you. Let's see what happens. Look.
People.
Okay, you see right there? Now, the gentleman right here. Okay, one more time. It's not funny. It's all in slow. Look. Hold on. I'm gonna see him run over there. Let me put it on regular motion. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Trying to be an editor hero. Okay. Let me go back. This right here. I'm trying to find it, y'all. Hold on. 140. Oh, damn it. 145 and 13 seconds. My silly ass had the time and I didn't go back to it. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. Try to make me forget where I was at. Hold on. I'm sorry. Thank you guys for your patience. 145 and 13 seconds. Oh, yeah. I know how to pay attention to details. I'll tell you that shit. 145.
Rat. Guys, you got to be out for the residents of Duck, meaning the FBI.
Okay.
So why?
Right here. I'm going to go 10 seconds back. Woo, found it. That was hard work. Shit. Okay. 10 seconds back. You see these two individuals? I caught a good frame. Is a bucket head here, light skin, and there's one with the lime green shirt. That's who I was like, that's a worker. And they was like, no, it was Keith Price.
But you have me sit here and we do this. Why would we pay anybody any money if y'all have actual people, meaning the FBI people? So why would we waste money? That's all
I made it go fast.
All right, guys. All right.
That's him back there, y'all.
Actual people.
That's my last time showing this.
Meaning the FBI here. So why would we waste money? That's all.
All right, so we're gonna stop right there, y'all. I just want to know, was that the antagonist of last night? Was he a plant? Was he a decoy? Because let me tell you this. Y'all gonna be like, here she go with the conspiracy stuff. When there is a conspiracy against the people, there is remarkable similarities in different situations, and that's what I'm starting to notice. They will show the individuals over and over who is part of the coup, putting it right in front of you. We saw that row of individuals who was actually part of the chaos being shown on the mainstream news. The lady with the red hair, the one with the dreads, the one that asked to bring her paperwork up, the dark-skinned guy who was coming behind the old man. Does that was right in front of us. So here we go again, where Tiffany Henyard did this Facebook thing, and she pulled this man to talk, just so happened. And is this the gentleman who y'all said it was? Somebody keeps saying yes. Okay, thank you. This is who y'all said. So that's why I'm like, yo, what is going on here? Y'all know I'm gonna keep it in the back of my mind. Something is not right. Okay, we got to keep our mind on focus on what's going on, but we can't put our hope into anybody. I'm just being honest. You got to look at people for who they are, what they have done, and judge them according to their actions. That's everyone. I'm just being honest. Even me. You look at me like that because y'all listen to me talk about Dalton, listen to these other people do the same thing because something is weird here. And I'm going to leave it like that. So Did we allegedly verify that it was KP causing the coup, the last coup that got Henyard out of there, and that was her boy at this thing talking about, yeah, speak up for me? And did allegedly KP, if these are the two individuals, give the township of Dalton a subliminal threat? What did he say? He said, you know, it's going up. What's going up? Can anybody tell me? What's going up? It's the crime. And he said, if she don't get elected, it's going to be a problem. Please, FBI, please, 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 please pay attention to that. Now, we're going to get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. We've been talking about Tiffany Henyard. Talking about it is not too much. We can't talk about more. But there's always going to be. But we're going to move on and talk about Miss Lightfoot. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this because, like I said, we got to keep our eye on everybody. And I just feel like having Miss Lightfoot there is the pot calling the kettle black. I don't mean to put this picture of her looking all weird, but most of the pictures of her looks weird. And I'm just going to be honest. So shout out to Miss Lori Lightfoot. I pray you have good intentions, but we're going to talk about it tonight so the people can have realistic expectations. I did notice something before I get into just a few of the things that highlight throughout her career. Lori Lightfoot was actually one of the first Black mayors in Chicago, right? Doesn't that sound remarkably familiar to what Henyard is, the first young Black mayor woman in Dalton? We know that Miss Lori Lightfoot had a short one term in Chicago, and Chicago was pretty violent. The violence soared under Lightfoot. That's why I want to say I do apologize for making the allegation. But I will say I found something interesting about Lightfoot and her pursuit for gangs. And it was so weird and out of pocket. And I said, damn, this lady will go after gangs in this manner. And you going to be investigating Tiffany when you making these decisions? Now, I took it off, but I'm going to talk about it. Basically, Lightfoot at one point pursued gang members with suing them. If they do a crime, that she was going to sue them for assets. First and foremost, what gang member have assets? And if you know of gang members having assets, how do you retrieve them? Where did that thought come from? And I was like, damn, that's so crazy. You know, I made that crazy allegation about her funding, you know, and now all of a sudden you was going after assets. That's a very weird way to combat crime. So I really question her way of being a mayor and managing, you know, cities. That's not just one. Now, what we're going to do is just show a few clips of Chicago over a short time frame. And it was 5 years ago, was just before Lightfoot. And we're going to show what the news was broadcasting in Chicago. Shout out to all Chi-Town, Chicago. Shout out to Kanika Jenkins. Shout out to Zach. These are the people that I have gotten to know, like as far as follow on YouTube. And, you know, watch made me really start watching what was going down in Chi-Town, because I was from Newark. I ain't had time to watch the shit that was going on there. We was already on demon time. So, but I just resonated with them. So let's go.
Holiday weekend, 38 people were shot in Chicago. 5 of them were killed. Mayor Lori Lightfoot says people expect to see her at shooting scenes, and she will be there as often as she can.
That's a lot. So this was right at that was just a short clip.
I excel.
This was right at the beginning of her becoming mayor. She was coming into it being terrible. And what she ran on was crime, fixing crime and government corruption. What happened in Chicago? That's why we're going to upload that video on Rumble so you can see what government corruption dated back a long time ago that allegedly she was trying to fight. Mayor-elected Lori Lightfoot addressed crime plan. So I don't know if this has the one that I was talking about as far as her suing gang members, but we're going to put that up there. Logically, people, how would this work?
Summer.
coming. Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot is turning up the heat on Chicago police, saying the city was unprepared last week when teens ran wild downtown.
But did that give you pause about what the summer might look like?
It didn't give me pause because the summer's not going to look like that. The city should have been better prepared for spring break. Obviously, I don't think anybody anticipated that this was going to be something that was trending on Facebook. There were going to be hundreds of kids gathering in the downtown area, but that's why you need to be prepared and have a plan.
U.S. Attorney John Lausch and Sheriff Tom Dart, seen here entering police headquarters, were among those at a summer violence summit convened by Lightfoot. Tomorrow, Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson is expected to announce the summer violence plan.
Summer violence plan. So that
and chaos, confusion, and
I don't want to talk about Henyard right now. Now that tells you the chaos that has been going on in Chicago. So they had a summer violence plan. I want to know, did that incorporate programs? Y'all know Grace Lee, I'm going to talk about it. Do incorporate programs, educating the kids, giving them resources, pulling them out of the streets, helping their family with funding. What end up happening too that we don't talk about because there's poverty. I have ran into individuals from my community who allegedly dropped out of school in 10th grade because their uneducated mama, and it's just real, told them to go out there and make some money. And they literally was the smartest kid in the damn class and then end up being the most retarded gangbanger out there. Okay, I have seen this happen in real time where poverty can trickle down. Now, there are programs in certain cities that they should have. In Newark, I'm going to talk it up. There were programs. That's how I got the hell out. But if you don't know no better and you don't have our government officials out there pushing these things in their actual credible programs, that's why you're going to have what you had in Chicago. And more other things that we're going to show you. So was Lightfoot coming in on the right foot when she came into Chicago with her plans? And that says to me, how can you actually evaluate somebody else that's off the rocket and going to the left when you all the way to the left, allegedly? Chicago mayor asks for federal help aiming crime spark. This was 2 years ago. So we kind of going down a timeline. I'm going to bring some of the facts here. This was 2 years ago. It got so bad in Chicago that they asked for the feds to come in. Okay. Now we almost got like that in Newark, but we stepped in like hell to the no. They ain't about to the no. They ain't about to be rolling in our house. We had to get Haitian on them. Like, nope, Black community, let's go. Every Saturday, we out there in the streets, no violence, parades, yelling, screaming, whatever we could do, beating up our kids. Don't bring them drugs in the house. Don't stash it around our house. We had to put our fucking foot down in Newark, like clank, clank. We ain't want the feds out there. But she called for the feds. Let's listen to what was going on.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is calling on the federal government to assist city law enforcement, despite proposing an $80 million cut to the police budget last year. In a speech, Lightfoot asked Attorney General Merrick Garland to send ATF agents to Chicago to help end a surge of violent crime.
I have formally asked the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, to, with all delivered haste, detail ATF agents to Chicago for 6 months so that we can increase the number of gun investigations and seizures in Chicago. And with these agents, we also need increased federal prosecutors to handle the new cases that will be generated.
So Chicago, like so many other cities, is seeing a historic spike in crime this year. More than 4,000 people have been shot in Chicago so far this year. And there have been close to 800 homicides, making it the deadliest city in the country. Jonathan Lemire, we see one mayor after another who a year ago was talking about slashing funding for police, whether we're talking about.
Let's stop right here. I'm not going to play the full 6 minutes. Shout out to MSNBC. This is for information and educational purposes only. Now, I'm just going to highlight the most important thing. There's a few things, and we're just going to talk about it. To slash $80 million from to gut it out the police funding was very, very stupid to me. I'm going to be honest. You know why? Because I think that was a setup. Here we go. Let's talk about it, guys. This is how Grace Levi think about it. You will take $80 million out of the budget for the police. This is probably when Black Lives Matter was out there protesting, Eric Gardner, you know, a lot of the other things that happened after that, which was understandable. You know, I don't discredit my people's death and our plights and what we go through. But what they use this for is for political gain and also allegedly to get more control over the people. They like, where the hell did that come from? Why would you take money out on a local level, $80 million, don't reallocate it, or what did you reallocate it to? And then when the crime spikes up because the police lose momentum, there is race-based politics going on between the police and Black people. And that's because there is a blue line there that was never checked. That is real. But now you never fixed it with educating the police, actually choosing the right type of police to police in what community, getting the community members to come in and help police their own community, educate them. If you were going to take $80 million out of anything, this is why I was never down with defund the police. I told y'all I be arguing with my uncle, like, you suspect, y'all be trying to kill people, what's up? But then on the other end, I have common sense. If you're going to take money away from here, reallocate it to where, one, the community can play a part. They can come in and they can maybe join the police force if they want to. Yeah. Or they can have the resources, the education, and the means to govern their own community. Because that worked in the Black community when you saw uncles and grandpas coming out to talk to the young men like, yeah, brother, stop. I love you. You can't get an officer from another community of another nation to come in that's already programmed for whatever he believes that he see on TV to come in here and to be righteous towards the community and do right. So that's where you get the corruption. That's where you get the disconnect from the police. And that's where we have the big crime on top of everything that I explained when it comes to poverty and ignorance. Does that make sense? So where I feel like is a setup, because that's when I get deep in the conspiracy. Why the hell would you bring the feds in? Nobody wants the feds to come in. Even when we was having protests down here in Atlanta, when I saw the feds, I said, oh, shit, it's the National Guard. It's the New World Order. It's taking over, allegedly. We don't want that. Each state is their own like country, if that's how it's supposed to be to a certain extent. Yeah, I have your own constitution. It's supposed to be aligned with federal guidelines and you know what y'all made the treaty. But at the end of the day, who does that? Who opens up their state to say, come in and help us? Even Haiti, us, who lets a shithole country, Trump said, we don't even want the United Nations or nobody to come in from. Anybody in their right mind don't want someone else to come in. So that was very suspect to me, Lori Lightfoot, and her approach to crime. What was it? Where was the programs? Sure enough, not suing drug dealers for assets. And to mention that Chicago has the highest tax rate in the United States. So what's going on in Dalton is not too far from the norm that happens out there in Chicago. So I think I have probably one more thing to show you. And I don't know if I have to dig it in the hole anymore, just for you guys to kind of think about it. Oh yeah, I do have some points to make, but we got one more video to show. And this is my boo. This is my baby. I keep calling people my baby. I be like, this is my baby. Look at this lady. I feel so bad for it. What's wrong with Miss Lightfoot? Why she want to go and look like that? I start like cracking the hell up when I saw this picture on Froze. And then they got her doing the happy. Don't fuck around. Don't fuck with me. I'm sorry. My mind be going to the left, and I just be cracking jokes, singing tunes in my head and shit. Like, I grew up on music, so I be associating shit with music. I just start laughing. Yeah, let's play this right here. Mayor Lightfoot said Chicago is on the right track fighting crime. Now, this was just before her election or non-re-election. Okay. Her tune changed from calling the feds to saying, we doing good. If you from Chicago, Tell me, did it change? Did it change in Chicago? Did it change?
Mayor Lori Lightfoot saying the focus on guns, gangs, and investment in some of the city's most violent neighborhoods has been life-saving.
Our data-driven strategy recognizes that that's where we need to put the lion's share of our investments, our time, our education, our outreach.
Although homicides and shootings are down from historic highs last year, overall crime is still up.
The biggest challenge I think that we face is we've got to make sure that these young people put down the guns, and we've got to make more progress on carjackings.
I asked the mayor how she is battling the perception that many parts of Chicago are unsafe, and that includes downtown, the economic hub of the city, where crime has scared off some residents, tourists, and even companies.
We've got to focus on those numbers that we've seen tip up that I'm not happy with and aren't acceptable.
Outside of City Hall, many residents cite crime as a major concern, but reactions are mixed about how the mayor is addressing the issue. Some say crime has been a problem in the city for decades, and it won't be fixed overnight.
It's been here. It's just getting worse and worse every day by the day. So a person can only do so much.
Pastor Donovan Price, who often works with victims of gun violence and their families, believes the mayor could do much more. He wants Lightfoot to spend time talking with residents in high crime neighborhoods about what they're facing and their needs.
There's an old adage that it's not how much work you do, it's how much work your boss sees you trying to do. And so we're her boss.
With about 7,400 guns taken off the streets of Chicago so far this year, the mayor says the city can't do it alone. She once again called for federal gun reform legislation. Will Jones, ABC 7, Eyewitness News.
Wait.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our
Stop it. Let's stop. Let me ask you a question. Doesn't Chicago and Illinois have some of the strictest gun laws? What do you need federal gun laws for? Don't you have your own gun laws? Am I not mistaken? We do notice that the highest gun, like crime and guns is in cities that has restriction. Jersey is like literally, it's hard to get a gun. And I already told you about Newark. What is going on there? So I just want to kind of like highlight that, how the tone changed, how she said it's getting better. But what I will say, we're going to call out some facts here. About a year ago, that was 2022 into 2023. That was after the COVID. That was around the time just before where people were on restrictions. Of course, the crime went down. Of course, because nobody was outside. Okay, that's why the revenue went down in Dalton at that time. You remember what I showed you? Like, when they talked about the revenue not collecting taxes, it was late because people were locked in the house. So you see how they use the political, like mama drama, how you say the mama jamma, to try to like fool people. And my ass always here thinking like, wait a minute. So my question is literally, how is Lori Lightfoot going to do a proper investigation on Mayor Henyard when Lori Lightfoot actions are questionable? Her way of thinking is questionable to me. Tell me, am I tripping? I don't want to overpower the situation, but I'll be just bringing up stuff. We just talk about it. Tell me how good she did. What did she do? What will make her a proper investigator for Henyard? And my main question is, how is she going to obtain the information that we can obtain, that the trustees can obtain, that the people who have subpoenaed her in court can't obtain? How is that going to happen? I have to really agree. $400 an hour. What could you do with that? Now, I want to give you some suggestions. This is what I was thinking. That was that little section right here. And I wanted to show y'all a little section of the video that I had, but I kind of lost it already. But I'm going to pull it up. We're gonna put it on Rumble. I'm about to show y'all a little section of it. But I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube either. I'm just going to keep it clean. Y'all just look on the community page. It's going to be up in an hour on Rumble about Chicago and its crime. But this is what I said. When it comes to paying Lori Lightfoot $400 an hour, what sense does it make? I don't know, because I don't know what she really can do. We did have other representatives that said they got her back, but how do that information get obtained? Me, this was my suggestion. Every department in a government have an auditing body. It has an auditing body. Now, if you cannot get to that auditing body, i.e., like the Internal Affairs, or in my instance, where people will come in and audit the hospital, OSHA, you have people from a government level that's supposed to be able to come and check and balance. I don't know who that is in Illinois, but I think you guys know who it is. Now, if you took this to your state attorney general's office, y'all wrote letters and y'all not getting any feedback, that's when y'all can take it to a federal level. Now, federal level is not only the FBI coming in to make changes, but as what they're doing with Atlanta on the Senate floor. You see how they trying to change rules for the DA? You see how they trying to change rules for the DA? This is what I suggest people in Dalton try to move systematically and effectively and more cost effective. Maybe you do want to hire PIs outside of the state to look in some of the corruption. There are allegations of car rings being held in Dalton. Get a private eye. Maybe forward that to the FBI. That'll be a little bit cheaper and that'll be low key. Because if you have somebody like Lightfoot, it's a spectacle, drama, similar history as Henyard, a little bit first woman, this the bullshit. It's going to be a major distraction. You want people to act the same way they've been acting all this damn time. I'm just for real. Let her rock out with her out. But she's not going to do that when somebody's right there talking about I'm investigating you. So I'm thinking private eyes from other places, checking out the gang activity, checking out how officers handle the gangs. You know what I'm trying to do? Does that make sense? Okay, I think too damn much. You catch some pictures of officers exchanging things, forward that to the FBI. Make it make sense. You could save a little bit more money and it'll be private. This is why I don't totally agree with Lori Lightfoot being involved, because it is a spectacle. You have Henyard being able to have a little stupid stance to say, yeah, this is a spectacle. She's trying to take me down because you got kicked out. You want me to be kicked out too, motherfucker. That's what she's saying on the low. She like, yup, your shit is tarnished. Now you're trying to come for me. They're using black people against black people. Blah, blah. But what we know is that something seriously wrong is going on in Dalton. We have police feeling emboldened to chase individuals that are not even in their jurisdiction, i.e. Jedediah. Okay, that was on camera. Everybody caught that. That was brought up in the meeting. And nobody says nothing. False allegation, false police report, caught on camera. It was Freedom of Information Act, I will believe, was allowed to go through, and a few content creators was able to get it on YouTube. Yeah, it was very important that people like us on YouTube ran our mouth, nosy as hell, looking into stuff. Henyard, you don't want that. So again, Henyard, this is not about your election. This has been going on for 3 years. I'm going to take the half off. 3 years, at least 6 months into your election or you being elected, there has been contentiousness between you and the board. Now, in this live, I did not get on the board about anything. Okay. I will say in future lives, I will go in to ask these questions when we're reviewing the contentious board meetings between the board and Henyard. Why are some of these things not being approved? I do, because you know why? The reason why I say that, because I know they're supposed to see the budget, but there are certain things that just has to be paid. So I don't know if certain things that they are denying over the year were things that just had to be paid, which is lowering the credibility of Dalton. So we need to pay attention to that, because sometimes you can be blinded because you just hate somebody. And we don't want that to happen with the trustees. So I am going to not be biased, but I did not hint to that because this tax thing is something that y'all should not overlook. That's something that you should talk to your board members about when y'all have tea with the board members to clarify, like, hey, what are you talking about? You got the paperwork? Did you vote? Why did you do it? And they're going to explain, and they're going to say this, that, and third. Maybe my heart was with the other mayor, you know, I didn't think about it like that. And now this is not how I'm going to be. But y'all may need to have that conversation because shots was fired. And it definitely makes me think about it because I'm not an all or nothing type of person. And I'm not going to hate you because you make mistakes. But I am, like I said, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to call you out and see, can you be somebody that we deal with or I deal with? You know, wrong is wrong, right is right. So definitely talk to your board members about that. I've been on for 1 hour and 16 minutes. It's been an improv live. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to Rumble. These are Rumble like, what the f- is going on? We got another Fannie Willis. Yes, baby. Shout out to the algorithm on YouTube. Hit the like button. I appreciate you guys. Let me see some of the comments y'all made before I jump off and go off with some Hebrew music. I love you guys. Shut up and listen. Okay, what do you mean? Of course, do that to combat crime. Damn, you must not read anything outside your bubble. What do you mean? Of course, you do that to combat crime. What, you sue? You see the person? No. Okay, let me say that. You got to be that. You got to be talking about that. Please, 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 please give me more description of what you're talking about so I could, you know, respond correctly. Are you talking about her suing the people who did crimes? Now, I would say this. Yeah, I do know that. Like, okay, let me give you an example. My brother, before he got doing his big old bid right now, he got into a car accident in a stolen car when he was 17. He knocked over the pole, and they did put basically like he had to pay money back. Okay, he did some time. He did time for it, and then he had to pay a fine, and then he had to pay an extra fine. Now that does make sense, but putting a lien on someone who is not participating in commerce properly, that's stupid. Now, if you're making them pay related to probation and those type of things, that's different. But what I read was that she was going to sue them. If they did a crime, everything that they have bought with that money is confiscatable. It can be taken. So what's next? That's where that came from. I love you, Truth. I appreciate it. If that's what you were talking about, give me more description next time. Against law and by the citizens. Yes, that's what they're doing. Corruption. Keith Price is Tiffany cousin, as I heard from someone who knows Tiffany. All right, that I was about to call him. You know, I was about to call him that buckethead, light skinned buckethead. That's her cousin. Cam Royal, who's that? Hasn't responded to anybody. That's the attorney. Oh, Cam. Oh, that's the attorney. Attorney for who? Tell me who's that the attorney for? Because when we looked at the case, I could pull it up. It got Delgado name on it. When we talked about Pablo's Cafe, Delgado and it was one more other person. He had a funny name. It was the top of my head. They the one. One was the liquor board commissioner or the person that was doing the appeal, and then Delgado was the lawyer, and they straight basically played Pablo. So a lot of the cases I was seeing Delgado. So I'm gonna look at that name, and he wasn't saying Cam, if that's his name, he wasn't saying nothing at the meeting anyway. Okay, and he know that they had called to dismiss the rules before they actually called to dismiss the actual meeting. He know that was on the table. The problem with Illinois is Chicago rules everything within the state financially and political. They have long been a Democrat machine and always voted Democrat. Now it's all Democrats. Okay, yeah, I guess so. It's true. A lot of these Democratic states have issues, but places like Arizona, that's Democrat. Is that Democratic? Because I watch everything. They be having like meth rings and shit. They be living in rural cabinets, kidnapping people, having drug cartels up. That's a Republican state, ain't it? Right? See, that's why we're going to hit you here with the Democrat Republic. I'm going to hit you with both sides. They both crooked. It's fucked up. It's sad. We got to figure out how to fix it. These Republican states is tore the fuck up too, but it's in their own way. They got good old boy systems. People are poor and impoverished. The rich is the rich and the poor is the poor. They're just running with the politics. So next is Irish Soul. I appreciate you too. Senate, House Attorney General, Senate of State, everything is Democratic, and they take care of their own, totally play for pay. Same thing like in Atlanta, in Georgia, Republican. Now they fighting to be Democrat. You're just a little bit. They over here fighting, but it's the same thing. The Attorney General. It says the Attorney General, but Jedediah talked about how he didn't want to address it because he'll be crucified for bringing down a sister. The Attorney General. Oh, that lady. I forgot her name. Made me look at the picture. Allegedly, they had met each other, and she had to come off of a case that Jedediah was involved in because they didn't want her to be biased. That's what you're talking about. That's why I don't like politics. I don't like it. I don't like it, baby. I'm gonna be a hard cookie to crumble because I don't do gang mentality. I like you, but wrong is wrong, right is right. I call my mama out. I call my grandma out. How the hell can I call somebody out because they got political connections? No disrespect. I love Jedediah. That's my boo. That's my boo. That's my brother. I got mad love for him. He's like a soul brother to me from far. But everything I just don't agree with. I will shut my mouth about certain things that I don't know and allegations, but I'm not going to ride with just anybody, especially if they do wrong. Like my mama do wrong. I tell her. I tell her. Grace Levi ain't no damn joke. If I tell my grandma, my mom about themselves, everybody else going to feel it too. And they still be calling me like, Shivan, you have to talk to us. I'll be like, baby, bad behavior is bad behavior, and I'm not B. I'm going to let God judge you. You come back to me when you're a little bit righteous and you got your shit together. How about that? So I want to say I love you guys. I said I was going to be back on Saturday. Maybe I'll be back a little earlier than that, but I want to say thank you so much, Irish Soul, Myra, Gabriella. Ooh, sorry if I mispronunciate that, for having communication with me tonight. Leave your comments down there. I know that I can talk in a manner that makes people probably like, damn, I don't want to say nothing. Say what you want to say. Say it with your chest, baby. I'll see y'all next week. Let me put you on the screen. One of my favorite Hebrew artists. Let's go. Y'all know I'm going to finish with that. With God.
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. And nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long.
I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. Live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't know.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we'd be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
The real estate market often seems like a distant world where only an elite of experts is successful. In a time of so much uncertainty in the air and bad news, realist investing can seem intimidating. But today, I want to tell you that if you make the right decision today, you can enter the real estate market from the back door. Bad credit record? No credit at all. Do you dread the idea of having a home loan? Do you dream of owning investment properties? You are in the right place and right time, because we have created a program which is a tax lien and deed investment online course of only 14 hours. This course is specially designed for people like you who have big dreams. You will learn at your own pace and everything from your home computer. This is your chance. Join our membership for $19.99 a year. What are you waiting for? Visit our website primetimehomebuyerBuyback.org and sign up today for course access.